I'm in year 10. Year 10 of this podcast. I've used this song every year, every season, and I'm still in love with it. R8RBEAR! Woo! Let's go! Day 1 of mandatory mini camp is afoot! Let's go! Asaltante oso! Woo! That bear you all know out of hibernation to entertain Raider Nation! What? You heard me. Woo! Often imitated, never duplicated, that fool with no head that shouts like Ric Flair. Woo! The Raider Bear! look at my Raider Vato. A Raider! Alright, that's enough of that nonsense. Alexa, shut your face. She's getting to know me. She literally asked me, does that mean stop? I'm like, yes, you're getting it. Hey, they get smarter, you know, it's kind of scary. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the show. Oh, wow, look, I've only got a few people watching me tonight. See, I kind of like it. I won't lie. Every once in a while, when you just have so many people here to watch the show, that kind of brings me back to the old school, you know what I mean? When I was, like, begging people to watch my show, and what I can do is I can do, like, a little bit better. Like, this is going to sound bad. But, you know, I don't care. But this is going to sound bad, but the truth is, when I have a lower turnout, I do a better show sometimes because I get kind of motivated by like, oh, okay, you don't want to watch my show now. Oh, you're going to miss an episode. All right, watch what you missed while you're gone, okay? Tradish! Raider, man, live first comment, woo! MVP tonight goes to... Oh, we have an upset tonight. In front of the World Heavyweight Champion is John the Lion Leon. Always dishing out L's, but never taking losses. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for Raider Bear. Snatching the gold from the heavyweight champion and walked right across his lawn. Oh yeah. No, he could have walked on those, you know, those nice paver stones that the champion has in his grass. No, John purposely walked right beyond those. Just stomping. No respect. Second place, my silver medal, and you know who it is. He is entrenched in that number 2 position. Mr. Moji himself, Mark Vargas. He does them just how I like them, you know. Give me each one of the bears, then something cute, then you got to cut it off. You know, Jim gets all over the place. He gives me a message and everything, you know, it's too much. Whoops. Speaking of the devil, third place, my bronze medal goes to the World Heavyweight Champion, Jim Vanderloon. Jim, do you see what these kids did on your grass? I mean, look at that. You can see everywhere John was, man. It's like, I think he might have peed, too. There's a little water in one of those steps. I'm not going to check. You check. I don't know. Facebook! Number 1, gold medal, numero uno, el jefe. Nothing looking any different tonight. Well, except for that super upset on YouTube. Come on, Jim, stop screwing around. Dustin King! My new undisputed heavyweight champion of Facebook, as my former champion has relinquished the title and has gone into semi-retirement. I have no idea why. I keep trying to bring him back. I want him to see videos of me crying in the rain. Hello? Little Lionel Richie playing. Come on, Josh Russell. Come on, man. Back to dominance. Second place, my silver medal goes to Dip. No, I'm not holding Dip, okay? How do you hold Dip? Come on. Dip! I could feel him still thinking, no, come on, man. I wrote Bear for you and everything. See right there, Bear. Third place, bronze medal. Raiderette, Sausage Fest, blah, blah, blah. Corinna! True! Hello! I always associate the bell I use to recognize people who give me stars with Corinna Trujillo because she contributes to this show in a great way, as does Anna Diaz-Rincon and Michael Purifoy, and there's a lot of people. I can't say them all. But consider a subscription to R8RBEAR family page. It's just $5 a month. You can cancel it at any time. But try to think of it this way. You're giving to charity every month, and you're just giving them $5. Because what I do is I spread the wealth out amongst 4 or 5 different charities that Mama Bear and I champion on the regular every single year. And it's a good way to give and forget about it. You know what I mean, is what I try to tell people. So welcome to the show, everyone. Appreciate you all tuning in. Stephen Bobo, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. And there it is. Corinna True. Hello. Love you, girl. And one for Ryan. Corinna just lost her son recently. We wished him well and said a prayer, and I removed my hat. We gave him a moment of silence, but I just wanted to bring it up one more time. And also, we had a little bit of an emergency yesterday, but it was more of like a technical thing that I was helping someone out. And I can't talk about it because it's not my right to talk about other people's business, but it was other people's business, and I was helping other people with their business. But it got done. Jerome, what's up, buddy? Welcome to the show. My twin brother in the house. Denton Road, Space Force. Here's to a fantabulous show. I appreciate that, love. There she is, Anna Diaz-Rincon. There she is, too. Hi, Bear. Hi, back. Tommy. What's up, Tommy? Welcome to the show. Hi, Steeler Val. What's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Jesse Parker, always there for R8RBEAR. Jesse, I had your Hanna-Barbera shirt on earlier. I just took it off before showtime and put on this sweet Raider shirt I have that has this cool-looking dead Vato, zombie Raider, and obviously, and he's still got the sweet mustache, because we like to do that here in Raider Nation, okay? But anyway, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. I had it on earlier. It looked dope. I love that shirt. Jason Polk, what's up? Welcome to the show. Josh Russell, there he is. Oh, shots fired! Mama Bear! Josh Russell's coming back! Oh, that's my guy right there. Yes, Josh. I can just see you like Rocky right now doing crunches and running up mountains and killing baby goats with your bare hands that try to stop you in the mud. I know you're going to be ready. I'm excited for you. I'm side-eyeing Dustin King right now. No, really, champ. We love you. It's Dustin. Don't worry about him. You're gonna be fine. Wait, should we talk about football? All right. What? I'm just a few minutes in. Calm down. All right. So what did I have for you guys today? We were going to talk about free agency a little bit. It's a little bit gloomy, free agency right now. And there's really only so much time to really make a move on some of these guys that are available. So we'll talk about a few of the guys that are available that could be helpful to us or might not, whatever the case. We'll look at them. After that, I was going to give you the quote from Nate Hobbs from day one. Day one, by the way. Nate Hobbs is talking like this. Wait till you hear what I tell. Wait till you hear what Nate Hobbs had to say. Now, some of you I'm sure saw it because it's come out, but I think you guys will love that. For those of you who don't know, let's see. Also, we got a little bit of news from camp about our corners, about who played well, who didn't, that kind of thing. We'll talk about that a little bit too. But first, let's start with free agency. So, and I'll also take your questions if you guys have questions about what happened at camp after I bring it up, or if you know about something you want to ask, feel free. Stephen Marchand said, how did your anniversary go, Regular Bear? Stephen Marchand, it went cool. You know what I mean? It's a whole year thing. You know what I mean? This is year 10, so I'm celebrating this whole year as our 10th year as Raider Bear Family Page. The real reason why we're happy about it is because of what it turned into. I used to just do a show, doing jokes. I used to just shout out my front door and cheer for the Raiders, and all that stuff was cool. But I kind of took that stuff and converted it into something that is helping people. Initially, it was just the homeless in California and homeless in Oakland and the Bay Area, Livermore, Modesto, Sacramento, Stockton, so on. And then now we've reached out and we've ended up in Africa and Afghanistan, Iran. Just some incredible work we've been able to get done, and we're changing lives. And I can't recommend it enough. Just remember, it's $5. You know what I mean? You catch the show, you get the privileges, and so on. Because the privileges of being a subscriber to Raider Bear Family Page on Facebook. I'm sorry about YouTubers. I haven't got the presence on YouTube yet. Once I have more presence on YouTube, hint, hint. Share my link. Share my link, please. Share my link. Share my link, please. So, Troy Gill, the new news is that the secret is starting to get out, even at practice, about Dylan Laube. Dude is awesome. I literally love Dylan Laube. I love what's going on with Dylan Laube. Okay, I can't tell you yet. Okay, hold on. All right, so free agency, top 25 free agents still available. I kind of went through the list, and I cut it down on certain people because obviously we're not looking for defensive tackles or a quarterback necessarily, because the quarterback, it would have to be someone, pretty impressive for us to go, okay, this project with AOC and Gardner Minshew, we're going to scrap that when we've already, got this close to the season. So that's unlikely to me, because the only quarterback I was going to say that's available that's really of any stature is Ryan Tannehill. And I don't know why we would show any interest in that. Ryan Tannehill has always, his entire life, been a fighter. I'm impressed with him. He entered the league as a wide receiver, was converted to a quarterback by the Miami Dolphins. I started laughing when I heard they were going to do it. And then just year by year, he got better. It's just undeniable. He got better. And while we were having losing season after losing season, he was actually improving the fortunes of Miami Dolphins fans and winning games. You know what I mean? So as much as I only say that because there was a time when I made fun of that guy a lot. You know what I mean? A lot. And he has come a long way, and I'm very impressed with what Ryan Tannehill was able to do. When he then left the Dolphins, I thought for sure he was going to collapse and, show his flaws, and instead he just goes there and snatches the starting opportunity from Tui, whatever his name was, that used to play for us, and they wanted to give the younger kid the job, and Tannehill took it from him. Okay, at running back, Dalvin Cook is still out there. I don't really like the idea of that. I just wanted to bring it up. Some people have asked me if we should do something at running back. To me, I would release some of the guys we have and try to find a spot for Dalvin Cook and just see what he's got, because that way now you can let Zamir White do all the banging. You have Madison, who we brought in from the Vikings, okay? Tough guy, fast, but can still go up the middle. And then if for whatever reason one of those two guys gets hurt, you're going to Dalvin Cook as your number 3 guy. That's pretty good guy to have a 3 spot. That's all I'm saying. Is our Dalvin Cook's best days behind him? Of course. But is he still valuable? Yeah. I definitely would still look at that. Okay, also the veteran wide receiver, Michael Thomas. Now, he's known for the fact that he's had quite a few injuries, and he is now 30, I want to say he's 31, but I think he might actually turn 32, depending on what month his birthday is, and I don't remember that. I remember reading it, but I don't remember that. So regardless, he's 31. I know he's over 30, so he's on kind of the downside. and had injuries. But I would say maybe take a look at him. If he's not banged up and he's in shape and he's ready to go, I would say take a look at him. Even though we already do have a deep wide receiver room, because it's just one more weapon. You know what I mean? This is that kind of season to me. I don't know how many of you have noticed, but this is that kind of season to me. I realize we're everyone's talking about who's going to be the number one quarterback. Okay, is Aiden O'Connell going to be able to beat out Gardner Minshew? Blah, 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 blah. Okay, first, I don't think there's a competition. Unless Gardner Minshew plays poorly, he's the one. Okay, they're going to give him the opportunity because remember, he's on his rookie deal. Gardner Minshew is not. And more importantly, Gardner Minshew is not young. He's not old, but he's not young. So he's going to give you some experience. He's a smart guy, but do you want to move forward with him and build for the next 4 years? No. I mean, I just, I don't know if I would go that far into saying I like Gardner Minshew because I happen to like him a lot. I like Gardner Minshew a lot. But would I want to say, okay, well, this is the guy that's going to hold the franchise down until we find the starter of the future? And you saw what happened with the draft. We were looking, as hot as we could at all these quarterbacks, and they went, boop, 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 boop. And we had no shot at one. We ended up downshifting to Blake Bowers. Or Brock Bowers. I keep wanting to call him Blake. All right, moving on. The tight ends room, obviously no interest there. Offensive tackles. I was a little bit interested when I saw DJ Humphries. Now, DJ Humphries is just turning 30, but more importantly, he played with the Cardinals, and he had kind of obviously a hard time. They had a bad year out there in St. Louis, but because he's a free agent and you could bring him in on the cheap, I would bring in DJ Humphries. I just would. Bring in another body that can play tackle and guard, that has experience at both positions. He's a veteran, etc., etc. I like what we have on the offensive line right now, but I'm just saying it's just one more guy. Now, to give you an example, everyone's saying, oh, come on, why, Bear? Why would you want another offensive lineman? I'll give it to you. What if Colton Miller goes down again? I mean, we just saw him miss virtually the entire season last year, and we're still hearing about him rehabbing to this moment. They're saying, oh, well, he didn't see some of voluntary OTAs because, he's a veteran, blah, blah, blah. No, it's because he's nursing that injury back still. You know what I mean? I'm shaky on Colton Miller. And I want to make that clear. It has nothing to do with him. I like him. He's all pro. I love our left tackle. But I'm concerned about more than a little bit concerned about his health. Now, so those of you who are on the bandwagon party with me where you're going, yeah, it's time for the playoffs. R8RBEAR! Because that's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing playoffs. I'm excited. I'm seeing, 11-6. I think we can do 11-6 because I do think that 10-7 is a little bit more realistic, only because I think the fights we're going to get into with a lot of these clubs, I think we're going to get a little bit of injuries, mid-year. And then if you look like running back, we're not super deep at running back. If we just went into the season, Zamir got hurt right now, it would be Madison, and Abdullah or bust. That doesn't give you much confidence. And then at wide receiver, we know, what we have in Devontae Adams, and we know what we have in Jacoby Meyer. We've got a lot of depth on the bench. There's a big fight for the number 3 spot right now. Trey Tucker is in a big battle for that number 3 spot right now in the slat that's being talked about. That's the hot battle right now. Already from OTAs and now at the first day of camp. Hot battle. Okay, let's see. There's some guards and centers on the list. I'm not really interested. The only guy I saw was Dalton Reisner. He's a Viking and a former Bronco, though, so he might be someone that could give you a little information on them. But also, Calais Campbell of the Falcons, defensive tackle. The only reason I bring him up, he's 38 years old, so he's obviously super old. But in my opinion, when he was at his best, wasn't just when he was fit, it was when he was motivated. So you saw, even those just last couple years when he was playing, for example, for the Jaguars, he was destroying guys. And it was just because he was fit. Now, think of this. Who does Calais Campbell remind you of? Think of his body, his build type. crazy tall guy at 6'6", I think it is. Crazy size at 270 plus pounds. Who are we talking about? Tyree Wilson. And why not another guy that can say to him, yeah, when you get inside here, if this guy's giving you this, you give him the pull and you sweep, and then you give him that run and that spin over and blah, 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 and you give him some of this. I'm getting excited. I'm breaking my mic. But I don't know. I just personally, I always think that's a good thing to do, especially now, his age, what it will cost you, peanuts, you know what I mean? And God forbid, you might be able to get a few plays out of that man, because that was a bad dude. So his old, getting aged is still one of the better defensive tackle at this point in football. All right, to the hot corner now. Cornerbacks. Okay, first, Steven Nelson of the Texans is too old. We're just going to move on from there. Stephen Gilmore is 33. That's not too old, but you would want him in a system that's a 3-4 that plays sort of a shallow prevent cover system out of that 3-4 defense. Who's that sound like? The Raiders. So it could work. Xavier Howard, he would just be good. He's a 4-time Pro Bowler. He's only just now having turned 30. So, we've already talked about this. I like Xavier Howard. I would make that call. And Adoree Jackson, no. Adoree Jackson sucks. Adoree Jackson played for the Giants. He looked bad for them in coverage. He looked good in man. So he actually is. It sounds strange because usually it's the other way around. Usually guys that are aggressive, they're good in man, and they struggle with coverage because they don't know who they're supposed to pick up, or are they just playing a zone, that sort of thing. That's where the kid actually struggles. He's good in the man and bad in the zone. And so, no thanks, because we're going to be playing a lot of zone. A lot of it. You may not like that when I say that, but try to think of it like this. It's an aggressive front four with a zone. That's why it's dope. Because all of our defensive backs and safeties will have the ball in front of them. The majority of the time when the ball is thrown, the play will be in front of their sight line. So now, right as the quarterback's arm opens up, they'll be able to see what he's looking at and aggressively step toward it without any concern that it's a fake or a pump fake or anything like that, because the reason he's doing it is because you can see that Max or Christian Wilkins or one of the other guys on the line, help us, if it's Tyree Wilson, I might have a stroke. I'll be so happy. But one of those guys on almost every given play is going to have opportunities. And don't forget about John Jenkins, the big center that we brought in back in the day from the Dolphins. That guy's back in the day. He's a veteran, but he brings it, man. He was one of the best, collapsing the interior of other teams' offensive lines and getting behind the offensive line of scrimmage in 3 to 4 seconds. At defensive nose tackle, he's one of the best in the business. J.C. Jackson, now that's a corner that played for the Chargers and then the Patriots. We were kind of interested in J.C. Jackson back when he was originally still a pretty young guy. He was like 24, 25 at the time. We wanted him. He ended up going to the Chargers, and then he ended up having a decent year. Not great, but decent. So it didn't look like we blew it on that one. It's just a guy that got away. But then he went to the Patriots and he sucked. So now he's out, a free agent. I'm not interested because again, we're playing a system he doesn't fit well. And Patrick Peterson is going to be 35. That's just too old. Justin Simmons, the Broncos safety, he's 2-time All-Pro, and he only just turns 31 in November, which right around my birthday. I would look at that guy because after that it's Jamal Adams, too old. He's only 28 years old, but he's older than that because he's a banger safety, and he's had a lot of injuries since going back to Seattle when he broke I think his wrist or his ankle, something like that. So no on Jamal Adams. Quadri Diggs wouldn't be bad. I think he's more of a cover guy. I think Trayvon Merrick, our guy, is more of a cover safety, so I'm not interested in that, even for depth. Marcus May of the Saints, not interested. Eddie Jackson of the Bears, same thing, 30, not really interested. It says he may latch on with the Rams anyway. And then Jaron Curse of the Cowboys, 31 this year, no thanks, passing. And so that's essentially the list of free agency that pertains to us. Safety, cornerback, which you heard me cover there. little bit of defensive tackle with Calais Campbell. I know that's crazy. I just think 28, you could take a flyer. They no longer make you have a cut down. So, for example, when you initially go to camp, you could have him on there and the roster could be bloated and it doesn't matter. And then after a certain amount of time, if you think he doesn't have it, you let him go. And if he doesn't, you keep him. To me, that's a valuable cat, though, man. That guy's forgotten more football than a lot of people will ever know. He could play. Okay, let me go back here now. Oh, I see you do have a couple questions. Armando Madrano, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. T-Dip, bringing back Ngakoue doesn't sound bad to me, but at the same time, I think the team has moved on. You know what I mean? I just think sometimes, a guy's been at a place, he's not going to come back. I just don't think that's going to roll. Greetings, Raider Bear. I'm homebound, reading reports all day. Beer, cigar, and your show is a great way to end the day. Right on, Doc Raider. I appreciate that. I share it on Rare House page. That's my page. Right. Nice, T-Dip. I appreciate that. All right, Mr. Bear. It's just a little bit advanced for his age, but I've started to teach Tommy just very basic algebra, and I just finished grading a 20-question test. He scored a perfect score. He gets a breakfast pizza in the morning. Way to go, Tommy. That's how you do it, son. See, we Raider fans and Eagle fans, we got to have it up here in the noodle. You got to do well in school, young man. Never forget that, okay? I did well in school. I play and I make jokes and I look like I look, but school meant a lot to me. It should mean a lot to you. Great job, Tommy. And everyone else is saying great job, too. That's right, Doc Raider. You should be proud. I would love Michael Thomas on the cheap. Daniel Hebenstrike! That's my favorite German name ever. Okay, so Daniel, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. And I got to tell, good. Looks like you're having a great time in that profile pic, right? Good times. I would say to you honestly, I just think that's a fit. Michael Thomas had become like Drew Brees. For those of you who don't remember, Drew Brees is like legendary Hall of Famer. I think he broke all-time most yards, I think it was, or something like that. Anyway, it's a huge quarter. He's got like 5, like major, I'm number 1 ever quarterback categories where he's the best ever. And during his last, like I'd say 4 years, it was him and Michael Thomas, like target practice. And he just got a timing and just could get open constantly. And Drew would just hit him constantly. Now, I don't think that's a skill that he can't bring that to us. I do think he can because AOC is such a precision quarterback. And in truth, Gardner Minshew is too. That's why they're having such a hard time differentiating between the two and who they want to give the job to. Allegedly. That's for the press, and that's out of respect to Gardner Minshew. AOC has the job. You'll hear it said, AOC will be fine. Gardner Minshew will be fine with it. He's a professional. When they ask him, he'll say, I'm there for Aiden 1,000%. He's a professional. The guy is cool as it gets. So having him on the roster, I like, because he's not just a good backup quarterback. He's a classy quarterback, classy athlete. And I say this about him before it's even being announced, you notice, because I'm absolutely 1,000% sure that when it's announced he's the number 2 guy, he will be super cool about it. Bear, they are saying the quarterback from the Ravens, Anthony, is fast, amazing. Your thoughts? Anthony Brown, Bill Cox, and there is an underswell, and I'm not kidding when I say this. There is an underswell, an undercurrent of Raider fans who really believe in that kid. I've had more than one hit me up in my inbox and say, Bear, just watch out for that guy. He is slowly developing more and more year by year, behind the scenes, or month by month, not year by year, but you know what I mean. But he's developing and developing fast. And, there's little whispers that, the future may be real bright, that maybe next season that guy's competing with AOC for the starting job. No matter what AOC may do this year, short of winning a Super Bowl, Anthony Brown's going to get a shot. And I'm kind of going to go out on a limb here and say this. Anthony Brown, in at least one of these preseason games, he's going to do some things. I think he's going to have this offense together. Because, see, unlike the Josh McDaniels offense, which was algebra times 10, a lot of the guys didn't understand it because it had so many variations in it. Now you're getting an offense from Luke Getsy that absolutely has variations in it, but they're variations that are understandable. Try to think about it like if I challenge you with a Rubik's Cube. At least if you see a Rubik's Cube, you know if you sit there and you're patient, you could probably get somewhere with it. That's kind of what his offense is like. Once you see it, it's like, oh, okay, so I have 2 tight ends. I have 2 running backs and 2 wide receivers. So on any given play, I'm going to have 4 or 5 guys in a pass pattern with a valve to my right to release to running backs, a short slant to one of these wide receivers or one of the tight ends on the strong side, my right-hand strong side, or on the opposite side of the field, maybe that's where the bubble screen is, and maybe I fake to this side and throw to it, and so on and so on. Or maybe it's just a run play. And I snap it and I hand it off to running back, and whoosh, you get fooled, and we get 8 yards on a carry. It's looking like this offense will have what I was hoping we would have with John Gruden. I really thought John Gruden was going to install that sort of Swiss Army knife play action offense that can do anything like our 2001 offense played. If you go back on YouTube and you look at our 2001 team with Rich Gannon, Jerry Rice, and Tim Brown, the reason they were unstoppable is because on any given route, either Jerry was going to break and get open or Tim was going to break and get open. They were both so precise in their route running that either both of them were wide open or one of them was open. But you almost never covered both of them. It's why that year, 2001, the Raiders had the best offense in all of football. And Rich Gannon didn't have the long ball at that point in his career. He was just chewing up yards with the running game and a short passing attack that just you couldn't stop. You know what I mean? And I don't know why we can't mimic that now. Sorry, I'm going on and on about this because I'm excited about it. But I can't wait. Is Renfro signed yet? Anyone? Bill Cox, no. Renfro has not signed as yet. He was on the free agency list. I just didn't mention him because obviously he's a former Raider. Don Wally D, what's up? Welcome to the show. Miguel Garcia, how you doing, man? 559 Fresno in the house. I like that profile pic. Looking good, brother. Anna Diaz, why not get a couple of cornerbacks at a discount and use them up till they break? Anna, they're going to look at that, but they kind of have that on the roster now. Brandon Faison was playing really nice in camp today. See, Brandon Faison, to me, is like one of those wild card kind of players. If he stays, he's going to be in shape. The guy's a professional. He's never out of shape. Okay, so that's a given. If Brandon Faison can stay healthy, you will see a guy you can't believe. You're like, wait a minute, we've had that guy? And we have a couple different times. But he got hurt, and then another time he was a cap casualty where you needed cap space, and so you let him go, and so on and so forth. But Brandon Faison can play, man. He's a little up there in age, but he can ball, I'm telling you. And we're putting him in one of those situations where his experience benefits him, and his lack of, that top-end speed doesn't hurt him as much because he can give every wide receiver a 5-yard cushion. They're playing a 3-4, and then sometimes right when they snap the ball, he's going to be in a hard backpedal playing a prevent, releasing him underneath to either the nickel or the linebacker to prevent him from making a quick slant, and then they shut the net off, and then now anything that goes beyond 15 yards, knocked down, intercepted, or at the very least challenged, like it was in camp today because Jacorian Bennett picked off one of AOC's passes in camp today. So I think, honestly, Anna, I was mentioning the DBs, earlier that are in free agency. This is really, it's just older guys and head cases and that kind of thing. Dustin King, my heavyweight champion, says, we got to get back to the playoffs. Yeah, Dustin, honestly, to me, this season's playoff or bust. But at the same time, once we make the playoffs, we have to win a game. We have to win a game. Now, I notice, bear with me now. I know some of you will feel like that's unfair. Just, hey, let him get to the playoffs and let's see what happens. No, I get that. But see, to me, to prove that this team is moving forward, you have to do more than just get there. We've gotten there. And yeah, it was only twice, in the last decade or two. But, enough with just getting there. I want to get there and then show competitiveness. If we get to the first playoff round and we are thrown out because it's 38-31, okay. All right, we put up a hell of a fight. We put up 31 points. We just couldn't stop their defense. Late in the game, they get a touchdown, we lose. Okay, fine. But it's got to be like that. It's got to look like we're fighting and digging, and it can't be a blowout. Raiders lose 28-14. No, I mean, we got to go in the playoffs and we got to win, in my opinion. If we and then if we win in the first round, all bets are off. Now it's house money. If they win after that, and they win after that, and they go to the Super Bowl and they win, yay. But if they don't, hey, you went in and you got one. That's what we did. We went in and we got one. Now next year we get a little bit more depth. We get some kids out of free agency. We snip and snip and snip. We pull in a couple of guys from free agency that can help us. We make another run, and this time get through that second round, get through that third round, and win that Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? Will the next big move be offense or defense? Dustin, this might surprise you. I think it's going to be defense. Even as nice as the defense is, it's not deep. We do have some depth issues at corner. We do have some depth issues at linebacker. We would like the play to improve there, regardless of even if we're really healthy right now. If there were a real decent linebacker out there right now, we'd probably be talking to him, or at least you would hope we were. But thus far, I haven't heard anything along that line. Only thing I've heard about is that they are looking for more defensive help, but it probably, excuse me, hiccups. Excuse me. It would probably come more in the way of a trade at this point than it would free agency. I heard the rookie for the Saints at quarterback is looking good and competing for the starting position. John, honestly, for those Raider fans who wanted to see Derek Carr crash and burn, you're seeing it. I mean, you really are. They're trying really hard to put a nice, bit of lipstick on that pig, but it's still a pig. R8RBEAR! What? Okay, first, if your dog is barking, that's not my fault. Second, if you left your window open and your neighbors are wondering what the hell that was, that also is not my fault. And if I woke up the baby and or from number one made the dog bark, again, not my fault. I feel like I got at least one person, and I got to get him again real quick. Raiders! You can tell I've seen too much of Godzilla -1. Only about 5 times. Rick Samarano, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. Always there for R8RBEAR. Don't forget, I was one of the ones that was on Anthony Bourne as soon as we signed him. Anthony Brown and John, I do remember that. For everyone listening, John was one of the very first people that came to me and said, Anthony Brown gonna be the truth. And I was like, yeah, okay, John, go sit down. I made it sound like he came stumbling to me like a drunk. Hey, Bear, that kid, he's gonna be really nice. I swear, kid. I love you, Bear. No, go to bed, John. No, John was the first, though. He really was one of the first. I had a couple other people, but John was the first, no doubt about it. I do mean that. You were the first. Rick Samarano. Rick says Anthony Brown is fighting for that third spot against Gus Bradley's boy. I like Bradley. I really do. I like Bradley. So if Anthony Brown beats him out, I'll be impressed. Because to be honest with you, and I hate saying this, but Bradley is kind of like a Derek Carr prototype. He really is. I hate saying that, but he is. I mean, if you guys have looked at him, come on. One of you must have thought it at least once. I mean, the delivery is similar. The body is similar. They're the same height. They have the same haircut. They have the same color hair. I mean, it just looks like Derek Carr all over again. You know what I mean? So I don't know. I'm kind of wary of Gus Bradley. When I look at him, I see Chase Garbers. Some of you who know the Raiders, will know who I'm talking about. That was like our second or third constant third guy. Not second, but I mean always third or fourth. Kind of. I've got so many things to drink here. But he reminds me of Chase Garbers, who's just basically a utility quarterback that was more of an emergency guy that we took a try on. He was a former Berkeley Bear. That's the reason I know a little bit about Chase Garbers. He actually is really good. If you look at him, he's playing in the UFL championship. He's the quarterback for, I think, the Stallions. So, a little Raider love in this UFL title. Why not sign Justin Simmons? He real good. Well, I mean, I don't know if it's there. I just don't know if it's there. I don't know if a deal's there. Bob Standard, what's up, brother? Welcome to the show. I thought Buffalo signed Renfro. Jesse, if they did, I haven't heard anything about that. I think our offense is going to be better this year. What is the defense? I'm really looking forward to. I made this comment at your personal page, but if a defense pans out the way we think it might, I can't help but think of a line from Shakespeare. Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war. Yeah, I like that. Cry havoc and let slip the dogs of war. The dogs of war. I really like the Dogs of War. I think if I was Max Crosby's teammate, I'd come in like a kid on Christmas morning and beg him to help me make that the name of the defense. But with the word war in it, you're going to have a lot of fans that aren't going to like that. And I mean, I realize people want to say we're too sensitive and publicly or PR and being politically correct, blah blah blah. But this particular one, I happen to agree. You know what I mean? I don't think we should sensationalize the word war. You know what I mean? If you're using it in cartoons or movies and things like that, that's fine. But not with football. I just think it, there is, for whatever reason, there's a weird association with the military and the NFL. Maybe it's just because it's, the military's favorite sport. I don't know. But there is sort of a relationship there. I think they should respect that. Bear, why is the NBA doing these final games like every 3 or 4 days? Why so far apart since you know basketball? Can you tell me? Yes, Bill, I can tell you. It's because of TV contracts, the fact that some of the games are moving around to different places. A certain game will be on ABC, then another one will be on ESPN, and then I think another one's on Turner Network, TNT, I think it is. Something like that. Now I could be wrong about how many different places it's playing at, but it's because of that. It's being the games are being sliced up, so to speak, into a type of pie, and then the highest bidder goes to this network on this one and this network that. It's just all making money. That's all. It's just making money. Now I would argue this with you though, and I'm a basketball purist, so for me to argue this is kind of weird. But here's the truth. I don't hate it. I don't like it because I don't like waiting that long for the next game. I think it takes some of the excitement out of it. But I think once we get used to this being the norm, I think it could be really good because what it does is it allows guys like Porzingis, who was literally just coming back from having rehabbed an injury for over 30 days, fresh as a baby, running out there to try and, see if he still got it. Is it back? Is he completely rehabbed? And then he had a fantastic game. Now, the game after that, not quite as good. He scored, I think, like 12 points, and he tweaked something. And Boston's not talking about it, but I'll be the first to tell you that right after the first game, when Porzingis just lit up the world and he was blocking shots and shooting like he was Michael Jordan and dunking like he was Shaq, that game was so over-exaggerated for Porzingis. It was insane. He did like a little bit of everything in that game. I immediately went, okay, you guys do know this is Kristaps Porzingis, right? He's not a different guy, okay? Everyone take a deep breath. Okay, the Bear's going to tell you something you're not going to want to hear. Okay, he stinks. He stinks. He stinks. Can he give you a game here and there? Of course. But one, he stinks. And two, he always gets hurt. And what happened? He went from all-pro, looked like the best player on the court, okay, made up for the fact that Jason Tatum laid another coward game on the floor. Yeah, Jason Tatum's a coward. You Boston fans are fools. Yeah, the guy's good looking. Oh, I love his wife and his kids. It's such a warm story. It's just like Steph Curry. The only difference is Steph hits his shots. Pun foots in him. Putting foots in him. Oh, I'm putting foots. And all you Boston fans, don't ever ask me any more NBA questions. Don't do it. I'm as intense on the NBA as I am the NFL. Okay? Shut your mouth. No, I'm just kidding, man. No, I'm not. Anna Diaz said, plus with the Stanley Cup final going on at the same time. Anna, what's the Stanley Cup? Anna, stop. Anna, stop right there. Okay, first, stop laughing. And second, stop typing. Don't try to tell me that people enjoy hockey. They don't. No one really likes hockey. There's a handful of fans like you that sit in the dark with a little tiny TV in front of them at your little rocker, and you watch little hockey. And you watch the little guys go back and forth with their sticks and get called for stupid rules like icing and offsides and... oh, we can't have any fun, so slow everyone down and call icing and offsides. It's the stupidest sport I've ever seen. Next to maybe curling. Curling is stupid. It's fun. I've done it. But it's stupid. It's something that should be played in a bar, not the Olympics. They should be ashamed of themselves. You know, I got off topic. I'm sorry, guys. Wait. I do. Wait, okay. I talked to you about free agency. I talked to you about it being opening day and it's mandatory. Okay. Nate Hobbs had one of the best comments already coming out of camp. He basically said he's never in his life, seen a guy move like Christian Wilkins. I thought that was a big statement because he went on and he basically said he's never seen someone that weighs 300 pounds that moves like that. Mama Bear, I was just talking about you. I was saying, I've never seen anyone that weighs 300 pounds. That can move like that and still be gorgeous.
This is not 300 pounds. Maybe this?
Oh! Hey, don't show them the goods. Don't do that for free. I put a ring on it. No, don't do that. La. Stop looking at her. What's up, Mama?
I am going to make burritos.
Oh, put me down for 2.
Okay.
Dos Ritos.
They're large.
Nice. Lots of onions? Okay, we probably won't be sharing a bedroom tonight.
I'm making Spanish rice right now.
Daddy's gonna get gassy.
Ew.
No, it's just the truth. I'm just getting it out there, okay? So it's just, we don't have to deal with it later. Just know when it happens. I'm not gonna explain myself.
Family, friends, and family.
No, they're gonna keep all this a secret. They're not gonna talk about this.
Having gas from eating onions. That's great.
I didn't say it that way. You said it that way. Don't make it gross now. Put foots in you too, and I was right in the middle of it.
You can sleep right here.
She means that too. That's the worst part. I think our offense is going to be better this year. What is the? I answered that already. Bears. Why is it? Okay, answered that already. No Stanley Cup talk. You're gonna trigger all the Swifty, aka Chiefs fans, by saying war. Honestly, I was being serious. I don't like using that. I actually said it once on a show a few years back, and I had a soldier watching my show at the time, and he sent me this long letter, just basically talking about the fact that he's, been through things, that have given him post-traumatic stress disorder, and he really explained how his time in the service, he wasn't literally in war, but he was around skirmishes. I got the impression he was in Iraq. By his age, he was in his 40s, and it was 30s. He was 36, I want to say. Anyway, he was a veteran of a couple tours of Iraq, and I'm pretty sure he said Iraq. And I felt bad ever since because he just made me. He didn't make me feel bad, but he made me understand that. To someone like him, when you're hearing a show like this and you're really enjoying it, and I'm making him laugh and I'm giving him stats and everything's fun and I'm answering my audience's questions, and then I say something about war, and then it kind of ruins everything else. And so I have respect for that. I love the fights. What you talking about? Anna Diaz Rincon, my first subscriber ever. Number one, numero uno, el jefe. But no, Anna, no. No. No one watches hockey for the fights. It's stupid, okay? They're all padded up. It's for 10 seconds. The refs break it up. And then they go into the penalty box. Ooh, why don't they make them have a dunce cap, too? You know what I mean? And then letting the stupid fans go up to the glass and harass them, and they're squirting water at them and all that. Ah. And don't take that as any notion that I've been watching hockey. I haven't. Maybe a little. And it bored me to sleep. That's what I use it for now. Tim Leonard, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Garner Minshew is my stoner surfer dude, happy as hell. Tim Leonard, I love the fact that the guy lives out of his van and saves like every penny. He's just one of those guys that's just super, super real. You know what I mean? Earthy. Some of us, would go out tomorrow and buy, an expensive chain, or a new car because you think you want one. He's not like that. He wears jeans that are ripped and cut into shorts and sleeps in a van and lives by a beach, while he, makes a pretty good salary as an NFL football player. So I doubt he's going to be in that van much longer, though, after the deal he signed with the Raiders. The deal he signed with the Raiders was pretty good. I forget exactly how much it was, but it was good. Mama Bear, Anna Diaz Rincon, Troy Gill, and Jesse Parker said hi. All right, so let's see. Last thing. Some information leaked out about the corners in practice because they were letting all the look at my thing. The corners were playing really well. Particularly, I said Jacorian Bennett made an interception. Brian Faison also knocked a couple passes down and played really good. And that's why I said don't sleep on Brandon Faison. It's not just because of what I heard in camp. I've talked about him for years now. We've actually had him often on the Raiders like 2-3 different times. He's gone through two or three different coaches and keeps coming back to the Raiders. So that goes back to the Ngakoue thing. I said normally players don't come back, but that shows you I'm wrong about that. So maybe Ngakoue could come back, but no. Mark Vargas said hi, Mama Bear. Let's see if we can keep making her come back in. Oh, apparently Mark Vargas is not important enough to get a smile and a wave from Mama Bear. She's going to kill me if she hears this. Mama Bear! Mark Vargas said, thanks a lot, okay? I guess he's chopped liver. Alexa, resume! All right, that's my show. Much love. Shout out to our armed forces, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, National Guard, Space Force. For all you do, the energy and love of this show is dedicated to your sacrifice. Active and veteran, much love. I appreciate you all tuning in, and I will be even better tomorrow night. Promise. Much love. Raider Bear, family page. Subscribe. Hit like on the YouTube. Hit the bell. Facebook, subscribe, green badge by the blue thumbs up, click on it, and you're on your way to subscribe to Raider Bear Live. Don't doubt on it, it's good.